Hey everybody, how's it going today? So today is now April the 21st. It's about 12:38 a.m. and I want to talk about Ethereum. I want to talk about Ethereum because it actually hit some fairly good highs. It had actually a very good rally, and it's definitely a coin that I'll be focusing on this year. I'm sure that if you guys have watched my videos, you'll know that I'm very nostalgic about Ethereum because I used to be a very heavy miner. I used to mine Ethereum with over 32 GPUs. Yeah, like it kept my place really warm during the winters, put it that way. And we're talking about mining it like 2, 3 years ago when it was like less than $1. And I also bought a lot of Ethereum there in about, I think March, April or so, for about $10, and I actually rode it to the $350 range. So you can kind of imagine the profit and why I'm actually nostalgic with Ethereum. So let's talk about Ethereum and let's get it started, guys. I hope that my mic volume is okay here. Everyone says to keep getting a mic volume, but what I'm finding about these Arctic 5 headsets is that the volume, it all depends on how close I actually have it. So, to my face, I'm just trying to find the proper positioning for it. And don't mind me actually just chilling in the dark here. I prefer to actually just talk in the dark. It's kind of just more so my style over here. Sorry, my hair is kind of getting in the way right now. Don't mind me. Okay, let's do this. All right. So what I'm finding about Ethereum is it's on a massive rally right now. And it's actually too late to enter, guys. The place to have entered was $538. So you snooze, you unfortunately lose. That's just kind of the nature of the game, right? So let's talk about my predictions first of all. Actually, let's go to CoinMarketCap first. It's a better idea. We see the overall market cap right now trending at roughly $380 billion. We're just slowly and slowly inching towards the $400,000 range, or sorry, $400 billion range. We see every single coin green all across the board. Hang on a second, I'll be back. My dog needs to be let outside. Excuse me. I'll be back in like 5 minutes, but it'll just be like actually a minute to you guys, right? But I'll be back here very soon. Okay, I'm back, guys. Yeah, so we see every single coin right now that's just completely green all across the board right now. I hope my mic quality is a lot better for this particular video right now. And we see Bitcoin especially, right? But what concerns me right now, guys, is that Ethereum actually has hit all five particular waves, which we're going to end up counting together. So I'm going to do a very detailed Elliott wave count for you guys in just a few short minutes over here. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my chair and locking it. I don't want to lean back over here. So Bitcoin has actually reached its target already of near the $9,000 range, and Ethereum has also reached its target of it actually not only reached its target, but it highly exceeded it as well. So I'm extremely happy about this right now. We see pretty much every single coin green across the board. Bitcoin Cash and EOS leading the way. Tron did fairly well as well, finally getting back up over to the nickel range over here. Populous did very well, and dun dun dun, Verge is probably the crappiest coin right now, in my opinion, in terms of how well it did. I know I'm always talking about it, but you see every single coin, right, guys, just parabolically going up, moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up, moving up. And then you just see Verge right now just biting the dust here at rank 26 over here, right? So it definitely took a big hit there. I apologize for talking negatively about Verge, but I'm not really a big fan of the community there. So Ethereum's 24-hour volume will most likely end up slowly trending downwards, in my opinion, because we have hit some highs, we've hit some targets already, so we can naturally expect it to slowly drop. In fact, over the past 6 hours, since the daily candle closed, it's been about 6 hours since then. We actually see it drop by about $200 million already in volume. We see this, it's all between 1.5 to 1.75 billion dollars in terms of 24-hour volume, and we see it, very high there. Super peaked up that day because that's where Bitcoin ended up rallying. But what we see for this 24-hour volume is it's slowly diminishing already, right? So let's talk about yesterday. I'm finally doing okay on Steemit. I'm getting just to show you guys. I hope you guys know that all Steam wallets are actually public. So if you guys actually go to any of my accounts or you can click on wallet, a lot of people have said that I'm doing Steem just basically for the profit, which is completely untrue. Sometimes I post my bias and I post more than 4 charts, which is really annoying if you have to do it on Twitter, right? So sometimes a lot easier to do a blog on here instead. So if you guys I'd really appreciate an upvote on Steemit, okay, guys? If you guys find the time, just head over there, upvote it on Steemit, just to show a little bit of mutual respect and appreciation there. It doesn't really generate a lot of income in the least. Like, I've been blogging on this account for about a month, and I've only made $500, which is really not that much. If you guys haven't made an account yet, I'd also appreciate if you guys were to make an account and simply just upvote the material that I put on there. So let's talk about Ethereum. Yesterday, actually 2 days ago on the 18th here, I actually posted a bunch of charts over here, right? I mentioned there was two specific cases, right? Case one, a break above 538 can easily signal a rally to between 550 to 575. I also mentioned 600 is a possibility, but it was unlikely. But surely enough, we actually hit it and highly exceeded it as well. So you guys have to remember that these are just general targets, and it is entirely up to you guys to determine when the proper place to exit is. All I can talk about in my videos is about breakouts, right, and potential supports and potential resistances. But of course, you guys are you don't want to be led, right? You want to make sure that you guys understand this technical analysis as well, because let's face it, trading is not a hand-holding type of game. You guys have to be self-sufficient to the point where you need to understand the technical analysis and time these specific entries and exits yourselves for day trading positions. So let's talk about the second possibility, right? The second possibility was that it did not break above 538 and we simply trended down where we find strong support between the 480 and the 550 range. So this was one possibility. This is the bearish count that I called it, and this is the bullish count. So it's a win-win scenario. You guys need to make sure that you understand, excuse me there, you need to make sure that you understand that trading is all a game of probability. We have to make sure that we evaluate all the different circumstances. This way we time our entries properly, right? If we can account for every single circumstance, it gives us an idea or a better idea of everything that could possibly happen. So when it actually does happen, then you know what to do and how to react to these types of situations as they do happen. And surely enough, the bullish count ended up happening instead. So let's take a look at Ethereum and see where are at for the day already, okay? We see the volume just completely getting shattered right now in terms of diminishing. But on the good news, guys, okay, on the plus side, what we actually see right here is that it's slowly it actually broke the 200 moving average. So we are definitely setting up for a potential golden crossover. And when or if we actually get this golden crossover, it's going to be beautiful, in my opinion. It's going to be a very bullish scenario. But the way that I'm seeing this right now, okay, like I mean, this just to trend back a little further back here for you guys to see this. I'm just changing my mic volume really quick. So, if we take a look at the best time to have entered was probably on the log scale, when we actually just broke these types of resistances down over here, right? It was kind of like right around this particular range near the $570 range. That would have been a wicked place to enter. But of course, another really great place to have entered was a break above the $538 range right over here, right? It's a beautiful place to have entered there just 2 days ago. So what I need to recommend to people is playing a breakout strategy, right? This is how I usually view my breakouts. Right? Let's say it ended up supporting down to over here. Sometimes I end up adding about 25% to my position where I'm feeling fairly confident it's going to bounce. And as it goes up and up and up and up and up, what I like to do is I like to add more to my position upon the breakout of a resistance, and I wait for confirmation. So as soon as it breaks out of here, this would be the place to have entered, right? And then you have your targets that's predefined ahead of time already. So that's how I like to play breakouts in particular there with my strategy. So let's go over this Elliott wave count of ours. This is not going to be too long of a video. So the way that I'm seeing my Elliott wave count is simple. I see this as 5 waves completely formed already, and there's no other way to see it, right? No, not really any other way to see it. I'm just going to change my degree to, I think it was millennium. There we go. Just a bigger count here. You guys can see it. This is the beginning of wave 1, right over here, right? Subwaves 1 basically formed. Beautiful count in my opinion. Okay, right there. And then what I see is 5 subwaves that have subdivided already. So let's break it down even further. Okay, let's go to my Elliott wave right here. And what I see is, subwaves kind of 1 forming in here, 1, down there. It goes down, and this just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to break it down from this particular end right here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. This is the big count, right? Wave 3 should always be the biggest wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Simple like that. And I'm going to put this on my minuet scale just so you guys can see it better. So this is the count right there where it goes 1, 2, 3, like that, 4 right there, and 5. Simple. I'm sure you guys would agree with me that this is the count as well. There is really no other way to see this particular count right now. But the most important thing is zooming in into a very micro type of time frame. What we're seeing is 5 counts in here as well, where I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like that. Actually, let's change this to, yeah, that's fine. So if I break it down even further, okay, I'm gonna show you guys why there's 5 counts in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's 5 in here as well. Let's get this to a different degree here for it to make sense to the Elliott wave traders. Let's go to, yeah, that one's perfect. Where we see 1, 2, 3, 4 right there, and 5. Let's get this to a different color as well, just to make it a little bit more visible for you guys. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this one actually shows 5 as well on a very, very small time frame, okay? It doesn't show it on a big time frame, but on a small one, it was actually really easy to show. So don't mind me if I'm just chilling in the dark, guys. This is kind of how I roll at night, you know? Like I'm not gonna turn on the light or change my style, even though I've got a web camera here. I just prefer it much, much more than actually turning on the light at night. This is kind of how I roll. So we see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we actually break it down in here as well, like I'll even go to lower time frame just so you guys can easily visualize with me what's going on, right? Right here. So if this would basically be your ABC that corrected for the wave 4 right there. And yeah, we got no choice but to see this as a bearish flag right now that's going to be consolidating for its official first launch downwards. And we see this as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, and our fifth wave just goes up like that. So as much as I would like to see it any other way, there's really no way for me to see it other than just like that right now, right? So if I were to, go to like a 3-hour chart here, it might not make sense at all. But when I break it down very, very far, just to show you guys again, okay, that this is now the count, right? This definitely seems to make a lot more sense, right? Where it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my main count right now, and I don't have any other choice but to count it like this right now. I'm seeing tons and tons of oversold regions right now. So just to give you guys a more in-depth look one more time on the 45-minute chart to tell you guys why this has ended here. But don't get me wrong, guys. Like I could be completely wrong, right? I hope I'm not wrong. If I am wrong, then it's not going to be good. But it's just sometimes it can happen, right? So I see that as like that, and I also see this right here as 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth wave, just like that happening in there. So that's how I see it, guys, right? That's how I absolutely see it right now. And just to clarify one more time, I'm also clarifying it again for myself mainly as well, right? So I see this as 4, where it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we get our ABC that I demonstrated earlier. Now we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's really difficult for me to see that one more wave is actually going to happen. It's most likely not going to happen. But you know what? Could be completely wrong, right? I could be completely wrong. Hey guys, check out this tweet that I just wrote here, okay? Let me just show you guys right here very, very quickly. I'm not really a big fan of Roger Ver, so you guys have you guys seen what's happening with Bitcoin right now? Or Bitcoin trash, rather? Bitcoin trash is literally at an extremely high RSI right now. I don't know. Last time this happened, Roger Ver and his little buddies ended up pumping it from like $900 to $2,700 with one long wick. It was ridiculous how high it actually ended up going. But check out that RSI right there. Okay, I'm in a position right now for 10 Bitcoin Cash short, and I wrote good old Roger Ver manipulating Bitcoin trash again. Hate that coin. I'll never invest in that coin or even touch it. All it's good for is shorting. Honestly, that's all that it's good for to me. And yeah, sure, sometimes it has a nice little rally. Okay, to summarize one more time, we see this as waves 1, 2, and then we see this as sub waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, with finishing wave 3 up going like that, right? And then we have wave 4 correction down over here, and then we finally have waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So very difficult for me to think that we could possibly end up getting another wave. So I'm just gonna delete my small sub waves there for you guys because I think you guys get the idea of where this could possibly end up trending, right? So if I take right now, this is for fun, see what we can do. If I end up taking my Fibonacci extension from all of this particular wave right here, let's see what it actually ends up getting to. No doubt, guys, no surprise at all, right? We find some resistance right now at the $614 range, which is exactly where we pretty much got to. Hang on, I just got to mute the microphone and clear my throat. Sorry about that, guys. So we see it literally trending right at the 236 Fibonacci region right there. It's not really, it's no surprise that that's exactly where it is. That's also where we're finding resistance. So, the algos are definitely kicking in there right now. So let's talk about both scenarios. I just made an arrow here and it's also my chart. Make sure you guys are heading to Steemit, where once again I always appreciate an upvote. And there's actually going to be tons of charts for Ethereum from now on, simply because it's one of those coins that I definitely want to be supporting. I believe Ethereum still has a very bright future, and I firmly believe as well in the future of Ethereum because I'm very nostalgic about it in general. So let's go for a bullish count, just so you guys can see it, just in case we actually do get one more wave upwards. Guys, if we get one more wave upwards, I don't think we can even break this range. Like, you guys got to acknowledge and respect this fact right here. Okay, like, we're gonna talk about some resistances right now. Okay, that if we do end up getting more wave, like the highest that we'll probably end up getting is about 650. If we somehow, I'm just gonna write in here for you guys, heavy resistance area, heavy resistance, based on previous high price action areas. So just to make it very, very clear, heavy resistance area based on high price action areas. Okay, so if we do get a break, this is the highest. If we do get another wave, I cannot see this getting higher than 640, 650 range. That's honestly the truth, okay? I do not see it getting any higher than that whatsoever. So let's just clear this up a little bit, okay? And talk about some other scenarios that could possibly happen. And we're going to talk about the daily RSI, and we're going to do all that as well with all the goodies, okay? So if you guys actually look on the RSI as well, what we can easily see, guys, is that we see the 5 waves that are kind of in here right now, okay? We see 5 waves on the RSI as well, right? Which, yes, guys, RSI easily does show the Elliott waves as well. This is how I personally see it all the time. We can see 5 waves in there, and yeah, we're getting it's starting to flatten out in here as well, right? As you guys can see, it's starting to flatten out. You can't really get a higher RSI than that right now. So let's look on the 4-hour chart. We're seeing it incredibly overbought right now, where it's reaching some massive peaks already, okay? We simply cannot break above this RSI right here, right? 4-hour RSI is definitely and certainly leveling out right now. So from my understanding of how RSI works, very, very difficult for us to peak above this right now, okay? So the 4-hour is certainly leveling out. We're also seeing a downtick right now on the histogram, okay? I'm just gonna annotate this for you guys so you guys can see what I mean here as well. So if I were to go like that, right, what we're gonna see, or basically say is that this is starting to show bearish divergence, right there. is starting, histogram is starting to show a negative, is starting to show down ticking on the histogram. Okay, that's important to acknowledge always. And we also need to make note that the RSI cannot break above previous high RSI. RSI cannot break above previous high RSI. RSI range. In fact, the RSI double topped. So these are very important distinguishments to make as well. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Right? RSI cannot break above previous high RSI range. In fact, the RSI double topped. That's how I always look at RSI. Just make sure that you guys understand the mechanics of RSI as well. That's one peak. That's the second peak right there, right now. So please make sure that this is very much so understood, guys, that another wave is possible to maybe 640 to 650. But, you know, the right time to have entered was honestly right above this high, right? Above the 530, 538 range. So which was the peak of the wave 3. And got to keep in mind that I consider this a very bullish retracement. The bullish retracement is basically right around here, okay? So yeah, bullish retracement is it only retraced to like literally the 236 range roughly, right? Which wasn't really much at all. Like it's such a bullish retracement for Ethereum right now that I'm very, very proud of Ethereum. That's the only thing that I can really say right now, okay? So maybe we'll get one more wave, right, to 640, but we're going to hit some very heavy resistance soon. So let's just say that it didn't hit 640. I mean, we look on all these other time frames as well. We look on these time frames and we see it, you know, on the 3-hour chart, it's also double topping on the RSI. You can't really break above this previous range. In fact, it's starting to lose steam, right? It's definitely starting to lose steam where just the shape of it in general is starting to look like it's going to end up curving downwards. I mean, let's see if we can actually break above any type of major RSI ranges or major positive histogram ticks again. But we got to make note of the volume just slowly dwindling right now, which is kind of scary. We also take a look at the 2-hour chart, right? It's definitely starting to bearishly diverge just by looking at it like that, okay? This is a bearish divergence. And we also take a look at the 1-hour MACD, which should be very evident as well right now, that the 1-hour MACD just looks like it's ready to come down. Well, we have to see the MACD as something that stretches really high above to the positive side. And then when it comes, then if it's too high to the positive side, kind of like this over here, right, it ends up breaking downwards. So that's something that we must always end up acknowledging. And right now, according to the histogram, we simply just cannot break higher than that to that range that we wanted to. So this was kind of cool how this one was, right? It went really high. Now it's actually just snapping back down over here. We see the histogram already. Histogram is actually ticking downwards negatively. Who knows if we're going to get another range? I really cannot see it like that. On a lower time frame for day traders, I'm seeing the RSI as kind of a bearish flag that's forming right now, right? So that's generally how I end up viewing RSI. So let's take a look at some possible correction ranges if it actually does correct down to the range, to some level that's going to be respectful, right? So let's just say I take my Fibonacci range. What we have to remember is that Elliott Wave says that wave 4 is often a very strong territory as a support region. It doesn't always get there, but you know, there's strong support. So if it ends up correcting, maybe we can see a possible correction range to where the wave 4 territory is. This happens a lot more often than people think. So let's go back to this right here. If we actually take a look here, and let's just say this was the high, well, then a very likely candidate for it to retrace to, assuming that Bitcoin is done, excuse me, is done its bull run. Assuming that Bitcoin's done its bull run, I'm honestly going to assume a very bullish type of retracement to somewhere just down over here. So I see a possible correction range. I know this might sound crazy for me to say this, and people are definitely not big fans of hearing correction targets, but I see a correction target as in one of these ranges, about 538 to 500. Yeah, as simple as that. A correction. If we don't break 522, what was it? 622. If we don't break 622, and the correction happens rather than another wave. I'm just gonna make sure I write this properly. Correction target is between 538 to 600. Oh, so sorry, to 500 range right there. So that is how I'm viewing this right here. Simple as that. So I hope that this makes sense, right? This will give you guys a very quick summary of my thoughts with Ethereum and where we could actually land in one of these correction targets if we do end up getting there. It's much more likely to happen than you guys might think. So once again, a lot of people are always wondering, oh, we actually wanted a signal to get in. Well, you guys got to follow me, man. Like, honestly, a lot of people say things like, oh, we're just waiting for, technical analysis, you didn't warn us or whatever. Keep in mind that I'm not here to handhold anybody, guys. It takes me literally an hour to 2 hours to prepare a technical analysis video, to, upload it, to write it everything up, to get it on Steemit, to prepare the charts on Steemit as well. It takes me an hour to 2 hours to actually do this for the public, and I actually don't really get any money for this, just so you guys know, all right, for the each post that I do. And because of that, I'm not here to handhold anybody, okay? It's far from my job, because this is just more so done as a hobby, guys, all right? So make sure that you guys are understanding that with 100% certainty, that I'm not your financial advisor, and especially not your babysitter. It is up to you guys to make sure that you guys learn technical analysis, and perhaps you can become self-sufficient. And keep in mind, I did specifically and firmly say that at $538 range, that is your entry target. If you guys didn't listen to that, or you don't follow with my videos, unfortunately, you're lost. So anyways, I just want to end the video on that note right there, that we could possibly get one more wave to 540 to 550 range, though it is very unlikely due to seeing many types of bearish divergences all across the board. So please make sure, guys, that you understand as well that Ethereum, guys, Ethereum reached $1,423 range. We are at half the price of what we were at before, right? It's kind of a fire sale right now, in my personal opinion. And because it's a fire sale, well, yeah, it's a really good price, in my personal opinion. So I would really appreciate the upvote on Steemit if you guys have the time, and make sure you guys are subscribing to me on YouTube as well. I've sometimes I've actually got a lot more followers on Twitter than I do on YouTube, right? Make sure you guys are following me on both Twitter and on YouTube, so you can actually stay caught up. And you're welcome to even click on the notification button if I upload a video. You guys don't need to watch them all, but watch the ones that are actually pertaining to you. This way you're not going to miss any information that I'm putting out there, okay? And make sure you guys are clicking on the like button. Please share and subscribe to my channel if you guys haven't already. If you guys absolutely love the content that I'm making, you're welcome to donate to the Luna and cryptocurrency piggy bank, but don't ever make it feel like an obligation, right? If you guys want to let me know I'm doing a good job, the addresses are down and below. Other than that, have yourselves a wonderful day, and thank you very much always for your time and your support. Have a great night now. Bye, guys. See you.